Hotel prices in New York City have skyrocketed. The New York Times just did an article on how the migrant crisis has impacted hotel availability. And that's a part of the story, but there's more. New York City hotels, particularly boutique hotels, have had a strong recovery from the pandemic. Revenues and occupancy rates are up. Around 135 of the city's 680 hotels have signed deals with the city to participate in a sanctuary hotel program, which allows them to house migrants and profit while doing so. That means fewer rooms for tourists. In the meantime, new options are limited. New zoning rules have made developing new hotels increasingly difficult. In several districts that are requiring potential new hotels to apply for special permits, none of those permits have actually been issued. The hotel development pipeline is shrinking fast. And in 2022, Local Law 18 started requiring Airbnb hosts to register short-term rentals with the city to help regulate the STR industry. There's been a significant decline in Airbnbs since. High interest rates and uncertainty has slowed the market for investors. Some distressed properties are selling at significant discounts, like the DoubleTree and Marriott Eastside hotels in Midtown, which sold below their previous sale prices. As tourists descend, prices may continue to go up. Keep following on therealdeal.com to keep up.
So here's one more example of how the illegal immigration and the whole sanctuary city thing will have a negative impact on, in this case, it's New York City, where you've got a dense urban environment. You're bringing literally thousands of people, 160,000 people, illegals into New York City. And where are they going to stay? Well, now it's 1 out of every 5 hotels. The illegals are taking over. So we've got that. Now we're coming into tourism season, June, July, August, September. Yeah, September, a little too late. Got the kids back in school. We can't be traveling around. You want to go to New York City? Hey, hotels are expensive. My son was there 2 weeks ago, something like that. And he said that he was staying at one of his buddies' places because I think he was paying him like $100 a night because hotels were so expensive. And we had that conversation. I said, did you check out Airbnb? Did you check out everything? And he's really travel savvy. And he had. Hotel prices were just wildly expensive. And I had that talk with him. Well, this is one of those consequences when you take away the supply and you add a whole bunch of demand. Guess what's going to happen? Boop, up goes the prices, right? New York City clearly hurting with loss of at least 15% of its hotel rooms to migrant shelters, ballooning costs for tourists. Now, another thing to consider is just the existing homeless in New York City. They're just getting scooched to the sideline, right? We know that you've been here forever. You're a U.S. citizen. We don't really care about you. It's all these illegals over here that we need to provide housing for because, the whole sanctuary city thing, the whole virtue signaling of sanctuary city. We're just going to take care of everybody, even though financially we can't, but we're going to virtue signal that we're going to try. A staggering 121 New York City hotels have been taken off the market and converted into migrant shelters, raising concerns that a space crunch and pricier rooms will tank tourism. I don't think it'll tank tourism because New York City is such a tourist destination, right? But it's going to slow it down a little bit. It's going to make it just a little bit more expensive, isn't it? Some 16,000 former hotel rooms now booked to help with the influx of residents into the Big Apple as the room rate for actual hotels has soared past $300 a night. And we're not talking super nice hotels. We're talking okay, right? Okay. $300 is the average fee for a hotel room. So there's no question that taking a massive supply of hotel rooms off the market is increasing prices at the hotels. This is not a hard thing to see. But at the beginning of this whole sanctuary city, we're just going to take everybody in, do our best to just help everybody out. You knew damn well this would happen. So, you know what I mean? If you're in an area where, this is impacting your lifestyle, you voted these, officials in that did the whole sanctuary city thing. You keep voting that way and find out what happens, I guess, right? Because you're not seeing this happen in cities that looked at their budget and went, man, we can't afford this. We don't have this in the budget. And so they did not offer themselves up as sanctuary cities, and rightfully so, because they can't take care of them. Neither can New York City. They're having to go wildly upside down on their budget, right? And they're just going to have to scramble around. Same thing with Chicago. Same thing with DC. All of these big blue liberal cities that have self-designated as sanctuary. And all sanctuary basically means is their police and Customs and Border Protection aren't going to be able to, they're not going to work with local police. And they're not going to deport anybody. So somebody, gets in some real hot legal trouble, can't deport them, not going to deport them. Those agencies aren't going to work together. Well, you got enough criminal activity going on in New York City right now. We're starting to think maybe we should make some changes there. Do you think? Should we make some changes? Maybe, just maybe, right? She said it becomes an issue for middle-income people considering coming into the city for a weekend and booking a mid-tier hotel. It just becomes too much for people to afford. It's clearly hurting the tourism industry. Yeah, that does not surprise me at all. So many consequences for all of these shenanigans. Just bring as many people in as you can. Just load us up. We'll take care of everybody. Yeah, and then in like Denver, no. Would you like to go to Chicago? Would you like to go to New York City? Because you cannot stay here anymore. Even though Denver for a split second was just the biggest sanctuary city virtue signaler out there. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. They even wrote a handbook. They wrote a handbook of how to become a sanctuary city. And then now they're really not doing that anymore. Yeah, no. They're actually sending officials down to the southern border to tell people, yeah, not Denver. Don't send them to Denver. We've got no resources. We ran out of money. Can you believe that? Can you imagine that? The extent of hotels lost was revealed during a hotel industry event Tuesday morning, with nearly 15% of the city's 121,300 now off the market. Another 6,000 hotel rooms closed altogether during the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the industry group. The potential of rising costs may be something the city can't ignore for long. Aren't we always saying that? You can't ignore that for too much longer. Can't ignore that. No, we can't ignore that. Now, rising hotel costs, right? It's one more thing where you've got leadership that goes down a route and what happened? We can't handle this. We can't deal with this. Stop all the illegals coming in. I've heard so many of you mention Seattle soy boys. Those are weak, blue-haired men who have lost their traditional masculinity. It's undeniable that such weakened masculinity in urban areas, it's had significant impacts. These feminized men are easier to control and less likely to push back, aligning with the societal shift that labels outspoken men as sexist or misogynist. Meanwhile, mainstream media demonizes traditional masculinity, calling it toxic. Research shows a dramatic decline in men's testosterone levels and physical strength over recent decades, influenced by sedentary lifestyle and poor diets. That's why I recommend Black Forest Testosterone with Tonkat Ali supplement. This plant-based product promotes increased testosterone and muscle mass while reducing stress. I've personally experienced improved recovery times and overall energy levels. Dubbed the feminization killer, this supplement combines two potent natural testosterone boosters. It's an effective way to counteract soy boy syndrome. With Black Forest Testosterone, I've seen noticeable improvements in energy, strength, and sleep quality. You too can experience these benefits with an exclusive buy two, get one free offer available on their website. Black Forest Supplements is operated by patriots committed to resisting a system that aims to weaken us. By supporting this sponsor, you can help sustain this channel and reclaim robust health and confidence. Check out the special link below for this promotion. Thank you for your support. It's a topic of discussion. We have concerns regarding our cost profile, including our hotels, said Gary Levine, a finance chairman of Jacob Javits Convention Center, said Tuesday. Yeah, where are people going to stay? All the illegals are taking up their hotels. The homeless are taking up their hotels. What few tourists are coming into town or taking up, XYZ number? Where's everybody else going to go? Away. not to New York City. That's what the tourism folks are considering, right? But he added, it's not a crisis yet. All right. Although the space crunch may be squeezing consumers, the Post previously reported that the migrant crisis has a boon for many of the mid-tier and economy hotels that were reeling during the coronavirus pandemic. By converting into migrant shelters, hotels getting a steady stream of revenue with the city filling all their rooms at 100% occupancy and then paying an average of $156 per room each day. So on the heels of the whole coronavirus thing where, shut her down, because nobody's doing any amount of tourism at all. Remember that? Couldn't even go to a restaurant. All the restaurants were closed down. What a bunch of ridiculousness that was. That was stupid. It was stupid. It was literally stupid. Don't get me started. The Post reported last September that the city extended contracts with the New York City Hotel Association for 3 years at a massive price of $1.3 billion, nearly 5 times the original $275 million deal, just to pay rental fees to the vast network of hotels converted into emergency shelters. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? This is the Roosevelt New York City Hotel. I was trying to get my son to go by there. I'm like, Kieran, can you just walk by? Can you just walk by, take some video? He was too busy off seeing Wall Street, and he's been there a number of times. And I was like, could you just go by the Roosevelt? You know, it's supposed to have a line around the thing for people trying to get in, and you got scooters everywhere, and you got people whizzing by in scooters. And it used to be a really nice hotel, and now it's a migrant shelter. Tell me what that's like. But that is the ongoing story, which is there's no more room at the inn. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Weird, right? So the head of the New York City Hotel Association, they acknowledged that consolidation, putting them all together, the compression of the hotel market is one of the number of factors contributing to the costs of hotel rooms. Gee, you think? That whole demand-supply thing, supply-demand, demand-supply, whatever you might consider it. The higher cost of hotel rooms is partly due to compression, but also in part due to inflation, which is a deterrent for meeting planners looking to book New York City as a destination. Got too expensive. Everything in Joe Biden's America has gotten more expensive, hasn't it? It just has. Then nearly 18% occupancy taxes. Wow. That's tremendous. They're added to the room rate, make the city even more uncompetitive, leading them to alternate destinations. Yeah, I mean, when you look at booking a trip, one of your biggest components is where you're going to stay, right? You want to get the best room, the best benefits. Does it have a pool? Does it have a gym? Does it have a cool restaurant? Does it have a bar I can go to, even though I probably won't? Is it within walking distance of 7-Eleven? Does it have a comfy bed? Does it have good reviews? And if those things don't add, then you're like, okay, maybe I'll choose a different location. Maybe that's a different hotel, but more than likely you might choose an entirely different trip, because when all the hotels are $300 a night on average, it means everywhere is going to be expensive. And that's what you've got going on. Dan DePani emphasized that there is no shortage of hotel rooms, shortage being put in quotes, as the occupancy remains just about 2019 levels for the same period. The average hotel occupancy rate was at 89.6% in 2019, and even the consolidation, it was 82% by the end of last year after a big decline during the pandemic years. But what you've got going on is the rooms aren't available to tourists. No, the illegals have taken them over, right? So it's improved the hotel industry's bottom line, but that means their supply is limited. Prices have gone up for non-illegal immigrants, tourists, and that's going to drive tourism down, right? The growth was boosted in part by hotels that partially housed asylum seekers. In recent months, the city has housed more than 60,000 asylum seekers on a monthly basis. 60,000 illegals in the hotel system in New York City. All there. It's insane. It's just insane. The city has housed a portion of these asylum seekers in mostly mid-scale and economy hotels, spending on average $156 per room. But hey, Mayor Eric Adams, his office has claimed that the migrant crisis has not negatively impacted tourism. The city has processed more than 200,000 asylum seekers since July of 2022. That's not going to have an impact on anything. It's all going to be fine. It's all good. It's all fine. It's good. Is that why we're sending the National Guard into the subway system? Is that why we're sending state police into the subway system on top of the fact you just got a bunch of lunatics running around? Yeah, you got scooters. You got police on the outlook for the illegal scooter. You got the scooter crew running around. Keep hearing about that, right? When the Adams administration came into office, tourism was at the fourth lowest level in over 20 years. But today, New York City is back. And last year, such as it is, we had the fourth highest tourism in history. Okay, yeah, you're not fooling me. The return of tourists in New York City is reflected at hotels as well, where demand is up. New York City is safer, cleaner, and as the numbers show, continues to be one of the most popular destinations in the United States. You know what? They always say the same damn thing about San Francisco too, right? Yeah, I'm not really looking to go to either one. I would go to New York City just because I want to see just the shenanigans going on. Same thing with San Francisco. I wouldn't mind going there and just say, hey, what's going on? Take a GoPro, maybe do a little live stream. Closed. No more room at the inn. Everything open in New York City. But now, what is it? 11% of the retail stores on ground level within New York City are closed right now. Yeah, because it's just gotten so expensive to operate there. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about a large scale industry, hotel rooms in New York City. City Hall said hotel prices have been rising due to inflation as well as demand, a phenomenon happening in other cities with spikes in costs for goods and services as well as labor. Officials even admitted that historically, the Big Apple is the most expensive city in the mainland U.S. It is. And now it's just a scooch more expensive because you've taken out that supply of hotel rooms that you would have had otherwise. And, taxpayers' dollars are going towards, just taking care of all those illegals. Alongside, give them a $10,000 debit card, a scooter, may or may not have title and licensing. Who cares? That doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. Many of the hotels now accepting migrants were not doing well before the pandemic. So this is, including the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown, they were closed. Okay, so this is one of those things New York City is going to have to work its way out of. It's going to have to take the lumps because all of a sudden you can't just, you guys all got to go. You guys all got to go. With $60,000 a month. Eventually those folks are going to move on, right? Hopefully that's the goal. And it's not meant as a long-term program. But then, what kind of rehab of these rooms are you going to do when this is all said and done? What are you going to do? Are these just become permanent shelters for the homeless or the illegal immigrants? Is that what you're going to do? I mean, so much of this stuff, these governmental officials, they just back their way into, and now they're going to be stuck. And they're going to be like, what do we do now? What's going on? How do we take care of this? This is business, and we don't really know what the F we're doing here. What's going on? How do we get out of this? Now, just rely upon the taxpayers. They'll work your way out, right? Just take some more money from them and, we'll pay off whatever, buy some more, build some whatever. And that's the thing with the hotels that the video at the beginning was kind of touching on was you don't have a supply as far as new construction of hotels going on. Permitting process slowed down to basically zero. Yeah, how's that going to work out? Well, what tourists are going to come, they're going to pay a lot of money. They're going to pay a lot of money, and they're just going to know that up front. And, I hope for New York City's sake, I hope it's all worth it. I hope all your virtue signaling is worth it. Because I don't think your residents think so. I think they're like, what? We didn't sign up for this. But you did. Because you voted into office the people that made these sanctuary city policy decisions. So then you got to deal with it. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next segment. Love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.